So what I just want to highlight here is what I call sort of risk management, or loss control, as it were. Because I do this for full time. I make a lot of money doing it, but there's losses on the way. There's always going to be losses. Even the best traders in the world have big losses. So what's happening here is I've put a few stakes in the market because I expect this price maybe to come in a little, just based on a few little factors. Nothing strong, to be honest, but I'm expecting the price to come in a little on the second runner there. You can see I've got a few lay bets sort of earlier in the market, anticipating where the price may go. But the whole time I'm weighing up sort of a little plan in my head as to what I'm going to do, how I'm going to execute my trades, where my get out points are going to be it profit or loss. Probably more importantly loss, because we want to control our loss. If you control your loss, often then there'll be points where profit just runs. So you're in a better position, you're in a positive position. So if you've got a plan in your head, is what I'm trying to say to you here. If you've got a plan in your head where the price could go, then where you expect it to go as a maximum, where you're going to get out if it goes anywhere near there, then you set yourself in a position whereby you can control your losses on a daily basis, race in, race out, and eventually, with good selection of trades, you'll end up being in a profitable position. So loss control is absolutely vital, is what I'm saying here. Managing your own risk is an important factor. So looking at the two runners here, and there's a reason I picked a two-runner race to do this as well, is because it's very clear, it's very obvious what's actually happening with two runners, because the two prices have to reflect each other, they have to mirror each other. So you've got two runners there. You can see the favourite has traded as low as, was it 1.53, and you just see I've just entered a bet in the market there. So while I'm still talking, obviously I recorded the audio afterwards. It allows me to provide better audio. So I've just backed it for some small stakes because I'm expecting the price to come in, but it's probably a little bit arguable. It's a little bit early. Sorry, tongue-tied there. But if you look at the favourite, you can see the price is coming at 1.54, and that reflects the fact that the second favourite went out to about 1.76. So I know if that favourite comes into that price again, then the second favourite has to go out to about 2.776, 2.74. So for that reason, I don't expect it to go in any short of the 1.54, this favourite, because that would have to be quite a bit of a gamble for that to happen. So I'm happy in the knowledge that the furthest it should probably go, and the point where I have to get out in this situation, will be round about 2.74, 2.76. Absolute worst, probably about 2.8. Okay, for that reason I can keep an eye on. You can see where my cursor is there. So at this stage in time, it's 12 quid loss if it goes that far. So I'm managing my risk, and hopefully it will give us a chance for the profit to actually run when it does go in our favour. Now in this instance I actually end up making a loss, but I'm happy to admit that. I make a loss on many races each day. It's not about losing, it's not about winning, it's about being in profit overall. So I'm just highlighting the large sums of the market sort of dominating there, and I'm not 100% confident about this trade. But what I am confident about is my strategy of implementing how I behave, and what's going on, and managing that position, as it were. So 2.74. I'm happy to get that 200, but that will be the last point in where I filter any kind of stake on for me. Now, just like struggling to get matched, which is a good thing, because we'd expect the price. If your bet is struggling to be matched, it's usually a good sign, because it means you're on the right side of the book. In terms of where the activity is going. Now, activity's picking up a little bit more now. Obviously, getting closer to post time. You can see at the top the traded volume bars, a bit more active. And I'm just highlighting that money on the favourite there, because I'm not 100% sure if that's this big manipulator that turns up in the markets and sort of pushes things around at times. But if that was to all disappear, that money, then I would expect that obviously the favourite drifts and the second comes in a little. So it's not a huge loss, and I'm happy to take that kind of loss on board. And like we said, if it gets to 2.8, 2.82, then that's my absolute last point of that's where I need to start exiting my position. So we're getting close there, to be honest. But having that plan in my head, I'm actually quite relaxed about the situation, which stops me being fearful, stops me worrying about what I'm doing, stops me sort of second guessing and questioning myself. And actually it started to tip back towards me now. So although not all of them entry stakes have been profitable, that last one definitely is. And I'm just highlighting that money on the favourite there, because I'm not 100% confident about this trade. But what I am confident about is my strategy of implementing how I behave, and what's going on, and managing that position. So 2.74. I'm happy to get that 200, but that will be the last point in where I have to get out in this situation. So I'm relaxed about the situation, which stops me being fearful, stops me worrying about what I'm doing, stops me second guessing and questioning myself. And actually it started to tip back towards me now. So although not all of them entry stakes have been profitable, that last one definitely is. and hopefully we'll see a bit of a reversal. Obviously, I recorded the audio afterwards, so I know how this turns out, so I don't want to ruin it for you. But I've got my exit down there at 2.58, which is where I could expect it could go. If you remember when we started recording, it was probably about 2.58 or 2.6. So just the fact that it returns to where it was at the start will actually put us in about 20 quid profit, which would be nice. And it looks like the market's tipping towards where, in the direction I wanted it to go. Although there's not really any kind of oomph behind it. There's not any sort of weight of match money and bets going in on this, so it's making me a little bit nervous. And this is a point now where I can see this, watching this afterwards even, I'm thinking, yeah, should probably starting to exit some of that now, just to control that loss, just because I've allowed myself sort of a figure in my head of it getting to 2.8, 2.82, then I don't necessarily want to let it run to that point. If I don't think it's going right, which it doesn't appear to be right now, I want to start thinking about getting back out. Now that large figure there, 2.76, I don't 100% believe it, because looking at the favourite as well, there's a lot of money stacked up there, but it doesn't seem all that genuine. So I'm starting to, it's giving me an opportunity. It's dipped back down for a tick or two now, so I'm going to start exiting some of my stake. And only get it out as low as possible. And I think I could probably get it out at 2 point. I probably should have took that there, but I'm a bit slow to react. You can see when in the market. See, it happens to all of us. Happens to me too. Slow in the market, but you can see the price is frustrating because it's almost started to do what we thought, but it's not just panning out right. So I need to actually exit this position now. But the main important, I've gone a bit of a waffle there, but the main important thing, aside of what's actually happened on the screen in front of you there, to take from this is it's really important to have a strategy in your mind as to how you're going to enter the market, where your potential exits may be it profit or loss, particularly loss. If your point of sort of no return, the point of where you expect it could possibly go no further, and I know it's hard to weigh all these things up, but it happens over time of experience. But it's important to know all them sort of things and have a plan in your head how you're going to execute yourself around that.